The Commonwealth Games start today. Not only will our athletes be taking center stage in Glasgow, but also our cultural practitioners who will be participating in the Tin Forest Theatre Festival. Export of our cultural product is one way to secure and build the Jamaican brand. Another way that the government is securing branded Jamaica is through the implementation of effective security and justice measures. We'll be looking at some of those measures today on Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining me. First up is an update of strategic priority number 3 in enabling a reformed justice system. Next, Men with a Message are partnering with the government to empower the youth. And later, a look at how computers are expanding the dimensions of wood in computer-aided design workshop. Before all this and more, we turn to the news.
The National Water Commission (NWC) is now on a drive to rapidly fix leaks affecting the water distribution systems across the island. 2 leak hotlines have been established. Report leaks by calling 733-5655 and 733-5656. You may also send a text to 838-LEAK, that is 838-5325. Remember that a little effort will make a big difference. Be a leak detective. Conserve on water today.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 23. Groundbreaking legislation was passed in Parliament Tuesday to improve the lives of persons with disabilities in Jamaica. Labour and Social Security Minister Derek Kelly says the Disabilities Act aims to bring an end to all forms of discrimination against persons with disabilities while creating greater inclusion for them in society.
It will pave the way for enhanced contribution to the society and economy of Jamaica by persons with disabilities, by ensuring that impediments to their full participation in society are completely removed.
Among other things, the Act will establish the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities as a statutory body. The Act also seeks to ensure that employers do not discriminate against job applicants with disabilities and calls for buildings to incorporate facilities to accommodate them. Breaches of the Act will result in strong penalties for individuals and corporate bodies. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson is assuring nurses that documentation relating to their reclassification should reach his desk within a month. Having met with the regional health authorities earlier this year, he says they are to do the necessary work to bring the documentation for the Ministries of Health and Finance to respond.
I've given them no longer than the latest the end of this month to ensure that all the documentation is in place so that we will be in a position to act.
The health minister was speaking at the NAJ Lascaux Nurse and Nursing Student of the Year award ceremony on July 19. He revealed that the ministry was reviewing documents that could have the regional examination for nurse registration coming on stream this October. Nurses were also told that the ministry would be renewing the scholarship it provided for those undertaking studies at the master's level at least for this year. And Dr. Ferguson said discussion was taking place with a particular country that had approached the ministry with a proposal to employ registered nurses from across Jamaica.
And that discussion is going pretty well, and at the appropriate time after consultation locally, we will make the relevant announcement.
Montego Bay's Elegant Corridor is slated to be brightly lit at nights by mid-2015. A $248 million contract was recently signed for the lighting project that's being financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund. Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says it's just one of several initiatives to improve the tourism offerings in the second city.
Many of these projects that we're doing here, whether it's the cultural center or the lighting of the Elegant Corridor, we're doing these things as projects for Jamaicans. They benefit us first. And our visitors who come will also benefit from it.
The project is being implemented by the National Works Agency with the engineering firm YP Seaton and Associates as the contractor. Works Minister Dr. Omar Davies says LED lamps will be used along the corridor which runs from the Sangsa International Airport roundabout to the Iberia Star Hotel in Lilliput, covering approximately 17 kilometers or 10.5 miles. Curriculum specialists and representatives of the Young Entrepreneurs Association, the YEA, are to discuss the inclusion of entrepreneurship in the syllabus of secondary and primary schools. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites gave the undertaking for an early meeting on the matter as he addressed the YEA's recent quarterly forum.
We can't cram the curriculum with another subject anyway, but we teach it by inserting it in various subject areas. Let's see how we can achieve a greater insertion of a philosophy of business, a culture, and a practice of pedagogy that will help us in this regard.
The proposal is for the subject entrepreneurship to be introduced at the primary and the secondary levels within a tiered system involving various combinations of techniques. This method would see all the existing subject areas containing some fundamental elements of entrepreneurship. And finally, the Institute of Jamaica IOJ says the public has been embracing its Saturday openings introduced in May for an initial 6-month period. At a recent JIS think tank session, IOJ's Executive Director Anne-Marie Bonner said the initiative was one of several to attract more visitors to the East Street complex downtown.
So far, the response has been positive. A lot of people like the idea that we open on a Saturday, and we are hoping that the numbers and the interest in the Institute will increase over time.
IOJ's National Museum of Jamaica, Natural History Museum of Jamaica, and the Jamaica Music Museum are open to the public between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturdays. The Institute has also introduced new programs and activities for children and adults, including movie showings and storytelling. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Through strategic priority number 3, the government is strengthening the management and administrative areas of our courts of justice. Let's learn how this is being achieved.
New court management model introduced, and preparation for the new criminal case management system. Just 2 of government's targets for achieving a reformed justice system and ultimately a more secure and just society in financial year 2014-2015. The Ministry of Justice has set out to strengthen the operations of the island's courts. A new court management model is being implemented to improve the Court Management Services Unit, which records court proceedings and provides other administrative support for the courts.
The approved model will allow for greater cohesion between the adjudicative and administrative functions of the judiciary and the protection of judicial independence with respect to the adjudicative functions of judges, and will enable the input of other key stakeholders within the justice system with respect to the governance of court administration.
This approved model essentially replaces the Court Management Services Unit with what's now called the Court Administrative Division, CAD. It's also expected to deliver more efficient and effective administrative and management services to the courts. Under the new model, an advisory board will be appointed to advise the Chief Justice on matters of management and operation of the court system. It also creates 3 new legal posts. The first, an executive legal officer to the Chief Justice, who will provide legal and administrative support to the Chief Justice. The second, a Chief Resident Magistrate.
The Chief Resident Magistrate will assume responsibility for routine administrative matters affecting the Resident Magistrates' courts, which are now referred to and handled by the Chief Justice on a daily basis, and will provide input from the Resident Magistrates' Court into the court administration structure.
And the third new post is an Executive Legal Officer to the Chief Resident Magistrate. This person will provide management support to the Chief Resident Magistrate. The Court Administrative Division will report to and operate out of the Office of the Chief Justice. CAD is to come on stream within fiscal year 2014-2015, with full implementation over 2 years.
The proposed changes would add significant value to the work and effectiveness of the judiciary, will reinforce judicial independence, which is a fundamental underpinning of our system of democratic governance under the rule of law, and will enhance the quality of justice being administered to the Jamaican people.
In addition to the new Court Administrative Division, government has been engaging members of the legal fraternity on the implementation of criminal case management (CCM) in the courts. With CCM in place, judges will assume a leadership role in ensuring that all elements of pre-trial preparation are substantively streamlined. This will allow for cases to be tried speedily and efficiently while ensuring fairness to all parties in the trial process.
Criminal cases coming before our courts, as you all know, have increased over the years, and as a result, it is necessary for us to combine our efforts to address the challenges posed by this in order to promote the interest of justice and inspire confidence in our justice system.
A consultation exercise has begun in preparation for the full rollout. The main objective of the CCM is to cut unnecessary downtime of court staff, attorneys, judges, crown prosecutors, jurors, and persons accessing the court. CCM should also facilitate a timely and efficient judicial system and reduce the number of mention and trial dates for cases, which will eliminate undue delays in the adjudication of cases. Once criminal case management is embraced by members of the legal fraternity, these and other significant changes will take place. It ultimately means that the courts will have a modernized preliminary inquiry process where case files are ready prior to court scheduling and are presented during hearings. Protocols will also be instituted to get witnesses and prisoners to court, facilitating trials in a timely and well-organized manner. All this will bring about the desired result of increased confidence in the justice system. The government is committed to a reformed justice system, implementing strategic measures to achieve the structured and efficient operation of the island's courts, facilitating effective governance for a secure and just society.
Yo, this is DJ Bambino, aka Trevor Off-Key, and right now I have a message for all the youths of Jamaica. Remember, crime and violence is not the way to go. Education are the key. The car, the house, the money, the bling, all of that will come. Just remember, a gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Do you remember the phrase, do what I say and not what I do? Men with a message are using that age-old idiom to empower youth and to guide them away from the errors they have made. Let's listen to their message.
I was like a rebellion against the system, but that never was the way, Virgin.
I was convicted and sent to prison. Spent 14 years on death row, only see 5 minutes of sunlight each day for 14 years. I was taken to the gallows and was supposed to be hung. Twice they built coffin for me and twice they dig hole. But God knows best.
Men who have made wrong choices in their past.
These are men who were either incarcerated or persons who were informal enforcers, as we say in Jamaica. These were persons who had no regard for law and order, who have actually, by whatever means possible, by whatever stimuli, have actually decided that they don't want that life anymore. They want to actually be positive role models in society.
Now they are sharing their experiences with the determination of reaching out to the youths and even their peers to not make the same mistakes they did. And by so doing, they are helping to restore and preserve the society's value system, thus securing the rock with their message.
Trenchtown youths, top up love, delete violence. Things take time to do if you take time to do it. Trenchtown youths, focus, take life serious.
We are trying to help them to realize that crime and violence is not something that is good. It's something that will destroy the society and the entire family. And once the family is destroyed, then the society will be destroyed.
Men with a Message is an initiative out of the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP. The group, which consists of 10 men, was identified by CSJP's community action officers from among the program's many participants. Having received vocational and skills training, placed in jobs and managed to maintain clean police records for at least 2 years, the young men successfully navigated the interview process and were made ready for their mission. Armed with a different attitude, these men are now fighting against the same plague that once struck them: crime, violence, and lack of education.
To live a better life and to act in a better manner, education is the surest guarantee for a better life. You can't constantly do something when not giving you a good result. That's madness. That was how I define badness. So who I run down badness and madness. Because I was in it, so now listen keenly. So any man out there come for you, so I go to the eye there, all them can get to know.
It is reported that young men between the ages of 15 and 25 are most vulnerable to criminal activities. So, as part of the CSJP's initiatives within volatile communities, Men with a Message have been going into youth clubs and schools through the Safe Schools program to deliver their message of transformation.
I definitely want these youngsters to understand that crime on our whole is not something that they should want to indulge in. We know we cannot totally eliminate crime and violence from the society, but at least we can help to minimize it to a tolerable level.
Principals have actually reported that after Men with a Message have come and spoken to the students, delinquent students have actually been the ones now to curb the other students. There have actually been cases where students have been collecting knives from other students as a result of Men with a Message coming and speaking to them.
It doesn't have to be that we have gunmen around and so on, but it has to be that they understand that when they become men themselves, they have to become men of standard, men of worth, men of value. And that is what our society needs. And so many of these boys lack seeing men who are role models in this way.
I would like to see from this program youth getting the benefit that I know is there, because I am also a recipient of the program.
The common good of the society of Jamaica, which should always be the new name of justice, cannot be achieved by means of violence, because violence destroys what we intend to create.
These may seem like just words, but not to these men. With the CSJP operating in 50 communities, the men are spreading their message that change is possible and that the cycle of violence and underachievement from the inner city can be broken. And they are also living testimonies that the CSJP's programs actually work.
Jamaica, join with us to secure the rock. Top up love, delete violence. Jamaica youths, message love.
I'm on the rock, I'm on the rock. Higher than higher night, higher than higher.
Developing a culture of dialogue can assist in resolving many of the ills that face our society. Through dialogue, the various factions can shed their distrust, build relationships, and bridge their differences. The United Nations Development Programme has identified the reason dialogue is important in conflict resolution and in the restitution of justice. Dialogue allows all parties to develop a sense of joint ownership during the process and become stakeholders in identifying new approaches to address common problems. It creates the opportunity to not only talk, but to learn. The focus of the process is to change the way people think and communicate with each other. To be effective, it is a process that requires a self-reflection, a spirit of investigation, and personal change. Dialogue allows individuals to recognize and acknowledge the humanity of the other parties. Participants in the process must be willing to show empathy toward one another and recognize differences, as well as areas of common ground. Dialogue also stresses the long-term perspective as it seeks to address the root cause of problems. It is a process that requires time and patience, as one-off interventions do not work to address deeply rooted causes of conflict or fully deal with complex issues. So the next time you have a dispute with someone or an organization, consider dialogue as one of the potential solutions.
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity, free a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
By all indications, computer-based occupations are set to increase. The woodworking field is capitalizing on this opportunity by using computer technology to redefine the approach to design.
No longer are pieces of furniture mere structures of function. More and more, they are becoming works of art, taking on the personality of those who design, build, or buy them. Just take a look at some of these amazing designs from our local manufacturers. In September 2011, a redevelopment strategy of the local furniture and wooden products industry was launched by the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, the JBDC. The aim was to improve the supply of Jamaican-made furniture and wooden products for the domestic and external markets. In March 2012, the JBDC continued the thrust with a 3-day workshop to upgrade the design skills of local furniture manufacturers. The workshop introduced selected individuals to computer-aided design techniques. The idea is to have these persons train others in the sector.
We are responsible for stimulating growth and renewal in the furniture and wooden products. We have recognized that the consumer is very discerning and not willing to compromise on quality or design. Everybody in Jamaica nowadays understands trends. And more people are looking to purchase local products, and therefore we have to give quality products on the market. And the design piece is where we start in terms of production.
And so, international expert Robert Berry, owner of computer-aided design course CADCO, was brought into the island to share some important knowledge in computerized designs. Participants at the JBDC workshop were exposed to various methodologies involved in creating 2- and 3-dimensional drawings with TurboCAD, one of the leading software programs used to design furniture.
TurboCAD is extremely powerful from the perspective it is very flexible. You can do an architectural design, patent design, or furniture So from that perspective, it is really, really powerful that you can use it across the broad spectrum, and it's not surprising that the program has been adopted across the world, and I think that the Jamaican people are going to be able to exploit the power of the product.
One of the features of the CAD program is that users will get accurate, detailed drawings of the product. This pre-designing tool gives manufacturers the opportunity to see development stages of the item right through to the finished product before actually assembling anything. This method also eliminates wastage of material during test exercises.
Once you've actually created the drawing, you can visualize it, do measurements, get very, very clear drawings. So these drawings are you actually going to be able to take to the workshop, and in some cases you print them out at a 1-to-1 scale, and the workshop user quite literally puts it on top of his piece of wood and traces it out and uses that as a cutting template for what he's actually trying to do. One of the big powerful things here is not only can you get the 2D dimensions out of it, but you can get the 3D visualization, which is excellent for customer presentation and conceptual design.
Individuals representing the furniture industry, Heart Trust, NTA, the Ministry of Education and JBDC's engineering and design teams participated in the workshop.
This training will help me because I'll be able to send customers a drawing of what they would like, and they could interact with me and tell me the changes or the specification that they would like.
The participants, who are registered technical service providers with the JBDC, will pass on this wealth of knowledge within the furniture industry through a series of training and direct design services. This is in support of island-wide design clinics, which the JBDC intends to roll out shortly to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, under the Furniture Jamaica project.
There has to be a common understanding in terms of what is required from a design. And we have to formalize that process, and this is in that context to build skills at that level.
The training exercise is geared towards enabling the furniture and wooden products sector to have a more visible contribution to industrial and economic development. The project will also help create employment opportunities while supporting the improvement of the quality and supply of locally manufactured furniture.
The person who developed the pattern, which is what the CAD is all about for furniture, similar to pattern for fashion, that person need not be the producer of the final product. So we have a new set of persons, their skills being upgraded to provide a service. So it could be called a service industry, but at the same time it's impacting in a positive way on the production process.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Tune in to the arts page on Friday's episode of Jamaica Magazine to catch highlights of the cultural exchange happening at the Commonwealth Games. Continue to share with us via our Facebook page or Twitter. Keep up to date through our website. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.